Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to look at a question on the preparation of the creditors reconciliation, whereby we're going to look at a question from the question paper of September 2023, and it's paper 2 from the province of Eastern Cape. So our question is question 1.1 according to that question paper. So it reads, Candy stores buys goods on credit from all some suppliers. On the required part, use the table provided to indicate the changes that must be made. So on the first part, the changes to be made in the creditors ledger account in the books of candy stores, and then also in the creditors reconciliation statement on 20th February 2023. So we've got information that we are given, and also we are being required to show a plus for increases and the minus for decreases. So that's how we are going to indicate that. And then all the information, we are given the information that is going to from information A. Going forward, we have other information that we are given in terms of B, whereby we are given the statement of account received from awesome suppliers. So you can just try to go through before you start answering. And then on the information, we also have further information given here in terms of the adjustments which needs to be effected on C. So you would see that this is going to be our other section, whereby we have a column for creditors ledger account and also a column for statement of account. So this is basically what we have. So since we have to indicate a plus or a minus, we have to try to understand what goes to the debit side and what goes to the credit side of the creditors ledger. The same applies to a statement of account. So you'd see that this is the representation that we have in terms of that, whereby we have got the creditors ledger and also the suppliers statement. So in terms of what will be on the credit side of the creditors ledger, is the same information that we should see on the debit side of supplier statement. So any purchases that are done from our suppliers indicates a debit entry on the supplier statement and a credit entry in the creditors ledger. So the opposite is true. When the goods are being returned, for example, goods are being returned, it means they are now we now enter on the opposite side, that is the debit side, which is going to be indicated by a minus. And then also the supplier statement, they will enter on the credit side. So that's how we are going to indicate in terms of plus or minus. So this is what we have. So we can now go back and see on the first adjustment that needs to be done. We are seeing that on A, it's only the balance that we are given, which if we go to the answer section, you'll see that those opening balances are already pre-entered. So we can just skip that on that part. So going to the next information given is B, which we've got the statement. Then we go to adjustment number 1. Invoice A12 was incorrectly recorded as 16,400 rands in the creditors ledger account. The amount on the statement is correct. So you'd see that this 16,400 is an error that is in the ledger. So in the creditors ledger. So we try to check the correct amount that is on the statement. Is it greater or lesser than 16,400? So if you refer back there, you'd see that this is the correct amount, which is 14,600, and it indicates that it's a smaller figure than what we are seeing of the amount that was entered in the creditors ledger. So it means we entered a bigger figure in the creditors ledger. We have to calculate the difference. We have to calculate the difference by saying 16,400 minus when you subtract 14,600 minus 14,600. 14,600 and try to see what we get there. We're going to see that the difference becomes 1,800. So we have 1,800. So it means according to our analysis, that 1,800, we are having a greater figure on the credit side of the creditors ledger. We are having 1,800 here. So to remove it from the credit side, we have to enter on the debit side. So it's going to be 1,800 on the debit side, which is going to be a minus. So it's a minus 1,800 in the column for creditors ledger, since the supplier statement is showing the correct amount. So we go to our other section. On item 1, we are saying we are having a minus 1,800 on the creditors ledger account column. Moving on to the next adjustment, which is going to be adjustment 2. Credit note 34 was for damaged goods returned on 2 February 2023. So we can just check credit note 34. So we can see that we have credit note 34 here of 800 rands. Remember, if it's a credit note, they are returns and they should not be entered on the debit side. They should not be entered on the debit side, but they should be entered on the credit side. So it means this is a wrong entry that was made to the debit side. So to transfer it to the credit side, we are going to enter 800 to the credit side to correct, to remove the one that is on the debit. And then we now enter the correct amount. Because if you enter the first 800, it will return to 0. 800 minus 800, then it gets to 0. Then you enter the correct amount. So we're going to enter 800 twice on the credit side. So if we go to our T, it means we are going to the supplier statement. We enter 800 supplier statement, 800 twice on the credit side, which gives us a total of 1,600. So it's going to be a minus 1,600. So that's how we are going to enter in our reconciliation. So this is item 2. So we are saying minus 1,600. Then we go to item 3. Candy stores recorded the discount as 1,200. Or some suppliers indicated that the business was only entitled to 600 rands as reflected on the statement. So what does it mean? Remember, the discount reduces the amount that we are owing the supplier. So basically, we are saying we reduced with a greater figure of 1,200. In other words, we are saying we are having 1,200 on the debit side. So it's supposed to be only 600. So it means if you say 1,200 minus 600, you get your 600. So we have to remove 600 so that we remain with only 600 on the debit side. So by doing that, we end up on the credit side. So it's going to be a plus 600. So we have a plus 600 in the creditors ledger column. So we come here, we have got plus 600. Then we move on to the next item that we have, which is 4, which is saying some suppliers granted a 5% trade discount on invoice 588. Candy stores did not take this into account when posting to the creditors ledger. So in the creditors ledger, the trade discount was not subtracted. So we have to calculate it so that we subtract it. So we go to invoice 588. Invoice 588, we have it here. We have got invoice 588 here. And it means this amount that we have here, he had already 5% subtracted. Remember before the discount was subtracted, it was 100%. And then they subtracted 5% discount, which means what is remaining now is 95. So it means this 16,340 is a 95%. So we are saying uh, 95% is equal to 16,340. So the figure that we want is the 5%. So 5% now is the question mark. So with that, we can now simply do proportionate calculation, whereby we say what we don't have is our numerator, what we have is our denominator, and then we multiply by the given figure, which is 16,340. So this is how we are going to calculate it. So we calculate it like that and try to see what you get. And we are going to get your answer is 860. Here it's equal to 860. So it means we have to subtract 860 in the ledger. So we go to our other section and we subtract 860 in the column of the ledger. The only next adjustment that we have is now adjustment number 5. It reads invoice 1132 on the statement was for goods that all some suppliers sold to Sweets Galore. So it means this we as a business we do not buy those goods, but they belong to Sweets Galore, which is a different customer to all some suppliers. So we refer to that invoice according to the statement that we are given. So we have that this invoice is 1132 for 54,820. So it has to be removed from the statement because it's not supposed to be there. So it's supposed to enter to the credit side. And we know that on the statement, when you enter the credit side, it's a subtraction. So subtract 54,820. So we come here, we adjust as such. Right. So we move on to the last part, which is 6. Some suppliers charges a delivery fee to all its customers. This was not recorded in the creditors ledger. So there is a delivery fee that we should see on the statement that was not entered in the creditors ledger. So if we come here, you see that on the last day, we have got delivery that we have of 108,000 we have got a delivery that we have here of 1,540. 1,540 is indicated there. So that delivery fee has to be entered in the ledger. So remember, the delivery fee increases the cost of a purchase. So obviously, it's supposed to be entered on the credit side of the creditors ledger, and on the credit side, it's a plus. So we come here, we show that we have a plus 1,540. So after this, we have now to add to get the final total. So remember, information that is in the creditors ledger is the same information that is in the statement of account. So the two balances at the end of each period should be the same. The balance on the final balance on the statement should be the same with the final balance in the creditors ledger account. So whenever there is a variance, it means we need to prepare a creditors reconciliation to correct those two amounts so that they become the same. So that's the process of reconciliation. So our totals should be the same. So we can add from 52,900 minus 1,800 plus 600 minus 860 plus 1,540. Then you get our final amount, which should be 52,380. Same applies on the statement of account. I will say 108,800 minus 1,600 minus 54,820. We should get a final amount of 52,380. So we can see that the two amounts are now the same. So it means we have reconciled correctly. So basically, it's what we have in our question is 10 marks. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful.